You called me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail, and there I found.
Hey everyone, welcome back out to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment below, and share if you feel led. Everybody rock like, hey, hey. Now turn that song. If God said that you are great, you are great. Don't matter what nobody else got to say. So let's get started. I am excited about this word today. It is going to bless you. I know it is. So I want to get started and get right into it. Today we are going to be talking about healing. Healing buried traumas, unhealed traumas, how to heal from them and how to be free from them so that you can be whole in yourself. And I know that God is the ultimate healer. He is the ultimate healer. No one, nothing can fill you, your unfilled you up like God can. Only God can heal you. So today, that's what we're going to speak about: buried traumas. Buried traumas, how we bury things and hide things and subside things in us, because we are afraid and we don't want to deal with the trauma and the pain and the hurt that we experience. So we allow it to manifest, we allow it to grow into this big, huge void, when if we would have dealt with it at the time, that we wouldn't have to endure half of the stuff that we have been through. So today, that's what I want to speak on. So buried traumas, unhealed hurt. Where is that? There we go. So, what how this message pretty much came about is, last week sometime, I was feeling heavy. I was feeling like I was overthinking in my head. I was like boggled down by the thought of rejection. I felt unwanted. I felt like, why not me? What, I'm not good enough? And I was like, wait, I know one thing is that I came too far in my walk with Christ to know that when that arises in me, that I have to handle that head on in that moment. So I wanted to come because I know I'm not the only person that buried a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of experiences, whether it was big or small. Don't nobody want to deal with pain. Don't nobody want to deal with trauma. So we bury it. But it does not get better. It just gets worse. And it makes our lives so much more boggled down to whatever it is that happened to us, where we can't even be free and who God called us to be. So, just last week, I, you know, was feeling like I was rejected. I felt like why wasn't I chosen? Why wouldn't they want me? Or I just felt unwanted. I felt abandoned, and I felt rejected, which is stuff that I have dealt with from when I was a child. So, when the whole situation occurred last week, I was like, I'm feeling like my 12-year-old self. The 12-year-old that wasn't chosen, the 12-year-old that wasn't wanted, the 12-year-old who felt like she just wasn't enough. I started feeling like her, and I'm about to be 30 years old. So I was like, okay, I had to literally pause and say, okay, this feeling is here. I can't bury it any longer. I have to handle it. So I'm going to give you 3 steps as to what I do and how I handle this situation, which I'm going to say I'm very proud of myself, because normally I just be like, oh, I'm not, I'm gonna just act like it don't even exist. I'm gonna just bury it. But this time I said no. I'm going to face this thing head on because I want to be whole. I want to be who God called me to be, and I'm not going to allow a 12-year-old little girl to affect me anymore today at almost 30. So, but before I get started on those 3 ways that I deal with how I heal and how I am dealing with the healing process, I want to give everyone a visual of how it looks when we do not heal from our past experiences and our past traumas. So this is a balloon. Right now, you see this balloon. It's just a flimsy balloon. Nothing happens to the balloon. It's nothing. No impact or anything. Let's say my 12-year-old self. This is my 12-year-old self. And I get hit with rejection. Nobody wants me. I feel unwanted. So a situation happens. Sorry. So this is, okay. Here we go. So this is the sides of the impact. It's not that big of a impact, but you only thing you feel is the impact, right? But if you look at it and you see the situation, you be like, it's really not that big of a situation. Your feelings were just hurt. You were in pain in some way, whatever it is, this size balloon represents, whatever this balloon represents for you, this is how small it was when it first happened. But when you do not heal and you do not take the time to deal with it in that moment, what happens is we hide it, but we continue to feel that void, that pain, with going out every day to parties and drinking, smoking, and fornicating. We do that. This is what we do. Because you don't want to deal with that pain. Or you allow rejection to come in. Unworthiness. Abandonment. Out of breath. Abandonment. Hurt. Brokenness. This is what happens with that small balloon, that small situation. This is what happens when you don't handle it. It becomes this big. So now, years down the line, and you are 20 years older, feeling like a 12-year-old with this size hole now, because you did not deal with the trauma at the time. You hid it. And by hiding trauma, you have to fill that trauma with something. Because if you don't, the pain is still going to be there. So whatever it is that you felt it with, now you have to deal with this size hole. This size, instead of that small size. Now you're going to have to deal with this. Because when you bury stuff, you got to when someone get buried in the ground, what do to cover the casket? They throw dirt on it to cover it. Because if you don't bury the casket, the casket's going to be exposed, and anybody can take it. Anybody can get into it. So instead of you saying, okay, Lord, I'm hurt, I am in pain, I was molested, I was raped, this happened to me, Lord, I'm open. I'm not going to throw dirt on my wound. I'm going to heal from it. I'm going to be open. Instead of us doing that, we go and we throw dirt onto it because we like, I got to bury this thing. Because if I don't bury it, I'm going to be exposed. If I don't bury it, I'm going to have to handle this. So that is how we handle situations. I know the impact when it first happened was hard. I know the impact was painful. I know it didn't feel good. And the first thing you want to do is just stop the pain. But stopping the pain and hiding it is not healing it. And nothing or no one is big enough to heal this size of a void besides Jesus Christ himself. So you must go to God. So the way that I had to handle how I felt last week is I first had to acknowledge that that pain was there. I had to acknowledge that I was hurting, and that I felt rejected, and I felt unchosen, and I felt unwanted, and I felt abandoned. I had to sit in that, and allow myself to sit in that feeling so that I can stop it from happening and not just hiding it. Okay, so step one is that acknowledge the pain, acknowledge it, bring it, allow it to give it a life a little bit. Not don't allow it to live your life, but give your life give the feeling validation, in a sense. Give it a chance to be able to say, this is how I feel, and I have the right to feel this way. Okay? So acknowledge the pain, acknowledge the feeling, acknowledge the rejection, acknowledge the abandonment, acknowledge the unworthiness. So next, what we can do is we can take time to reflect on what triggered that. If you do not acknowledge the pain, then you will not go to the next step to say, what triggered that in me to rise. So in First Peter chapter 5 verse 7, it says, cast all your anxieties onto him because he cares for you. Cast your cares onto the Lord, and give them to him because he cares, and because he's the only one that is able to fill you up in that moment. He's the only one that's able to heal you from that. So take the time to reflect. Take the time to figure out what triggered that. Because when you take the time to figure out your triggers, then you'll be able to pinpoint where you need to heal. Where you need to heal. So give validation to your feelings. Your feelings are validated. Don't think that your feelings shouldn't be validated. They're validated. Next, take the opportunity to sit quietly and within yourself and say, what caused that to trigger? What caused that to come up in me? What triggered that feeling in me, so that I can pinpoint what area in my life I have to go to God for, which is 3. Seek, pray, and heal from that trauma. Seek God. Pray to God that, Lord, fill this void in me. Lord, continue to heal my mind. Continue to allow me to forgive these people that hurt me. Allow me to forgive myself for abandoning myself. Lord, I seek you. I seek your face in this area in my life. I need you to heal it. I will not go to a man to feel this. I will not go to broken friendships to feel this. I will not go to lust. I will not go to sex. I will not go to pornography. I will not go to anywhere else but to you, so that this hole in my heart that has been here for all these years can be properly healed now. Okay, so those are 3 ways, effective ways, that I know that works. Is you acknowledge your feelings because they matter. You reflect on the triggers. Reflect on your past, your life, your past, so that you can see where in your past you have to pinpoint to fix. Your mom might have left you. Your father might have left you. Your family might have hurted you. That man might have molested you. That woman might have raped you. Whatever the case is, whatever it is, go to that moment. And it's going to be a little scary, but it's needed, because you can pinpoint exactly where you need to heal. And seek God, because he is there and he is available. The last scripture I want to put is Isaiah 41 verse 10. It says, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. He is your God. He is our healer. He is Omega. He is all knowing. He is all powerful. And what you've been through, once you heal from that, God will use that to bless the next person. I am a living testament, because I walk this journey out daily. And I have learned to give myself grace and not to walk in shame, because God healed me. God is healing me. And this journey is constantly, every day, just allowing yourself to pinpoint triggers in you to heal from them. So I pray that this helped you. I love you all. Please like, subscribe, and please share this message. If anything, I'd rather you share it so that other people can be blessed by the word of God that is coming through my mouth. God is amazing, and I can't say it enough, but he is just the most amazing God, and he deserves all our praise. I love you all. Bye.